Hi, Ben. Thanks for a great speech. So as a conservative, I think that if we're going to win the war of ideas, we need to adopt some more nuanced views of some issues that are important to people instead of being dismissive, which I think we are sometimes. For example, I agree that white privilege, which you call a myth, is not this all-encompassing legal barrier to progress for minorities. However, we all have unconscious biases based on things like race, age, and gender. So if there's a tendency to prefer white over black in some area, like deciding between job candidates, then wouldn't that be an example of not legal but de facto white privilege? And if that's the case, then don't we all need to check our many privileges by being more aware of the good things that we have, which we ourselves did not earn? And don't we also need to check our biases by trying to do better at judging each person individually and not by their group identity?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call that white privilege. I'd just call that trying to be a good person. I think the problem with the term white privilege is the unspoken assumption, which is that if you are white, you have somehow benefited massively by dint of your skin color in the United States. And that is a proposition that on the individual level, I absolutely deny. I think there are a lot of white people who do not benefit from the fact that they are white in the United States. I think there are legal policies in place like affirmative action that affirmatively actually cut against white people in the United States when they don't exist in the same way with regard to legal discrimination, like legally enforced discrimination against other groups. When it comes to the idea that we should all treat each other as individuals and we should obviously examine our own internal biases, of course I agree with that. I mean, I thought that used to just be called decency. The problem with weaponizing the term white privilege is, again, the suggestion that if you are a white person and you've been successful, the reason that you've been successful is due to this unspoken privilege and bias inside our institutions. Again, that's too vague to do anything about. I've said this 1,000 times, really, almost in every speech, that if you want to point out to me a case where somebody is being a racist so I can get on the same side as you and then fight alongside you against that racism, that's fine. But if you want to go ghost hunting against things like white privilege, I can't. It doesn't have a specific enough definition or an action plan for me to do anything about it. So there's really nothing I can do about it until you cite for me the exact instance of something going wrong, and then we can fight about it together. Specificity is actually the friend to action. Vagary is the enemy of action. And it feels like in today's politics, vagary is what people cite because that allows them to be angry at other people without actually recommending an action that's useful.